Es geht durch die Welt ein Geflüster. Arbeiter, hörst du es nicht? Das sind die Stimmen der Kriegsminister. Arbeiter, hörst du sie nicht? Es flüstern die Kohle- und Stahlproduzenten. Es flüstert die chemische Kriegsproduktion. Es flüstert von allen Kontinenten. Mobilmachung gegen die Sowjetunion.
Arbeiter bauen, nehmt die Gewehre zur Hand. Zerschlagt die faschistische Räuberheere, setzt alle Herzen in Brand. Pflanzt eure roten Fahnen der Arbeit auf die Gedanken, auf jede Fabrik.
Dann steigt aus den Trümmern der alten Gesellschaft die sozialistische Weltrepublik.
Dann steigt aus den Trümmern der alten Gesellschaft die sozialistische Weltrepublik.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Intel drop number 11, level 5 Erasure and Termination. Oh no, it's the Terminator. Okay, let me read this shit for you. We are dealing with a criminal cabal that does not adhere to the laws you or I do, nor do they want the truth out. Our only hope... This guy writes like a fucking movie fucking script. Our only hope is if the public responds in a way that causes the agents to back off. If you do nothing, we lose. If you support us and fight back, we have a chance. My life is also in danger, so I will be in transit over the next 2 days seeking safe hiding. Michael will handle the website uploads, emails, and Telegram. I'm not able to get access to them. I've given all my passwords so he can take over. I'm sharing with you below my last conversation with Gideon. Bill, how likely is level 5 right now? Gideon, it's almost certain. Bill, what accounts are they targeting? And what is likely to remain up? Gideon, they want the websites taken offline. Then Twitter, YouTube, and the last they can get is probably Telegram and the emails. Bill, so if people want to stay in contact, they should use Telegram and emails? And this new matrix thing we set up? Gideon, yes. Bill, you spoke a lot about this plan B or backup plan. Is that the direction we are moving now? Gideon, it's the direction we have to go now. The agents have escalated us. And as you know, Bill, a lot of people betrayed you and turned on you. Bill, they did. It was shocking to me. People who supported us stabbed us directly in the back. They drank up the lies of the agents. Gideon, people will believe the lies because they won't have to believe in CSRQ anymore. Bill, the information is too hard to accept? Gideon, for most it is. It's too hard to accept. So once agents begin spreading lies, the people who didn't want to believe flocked to those lies. They were relieved. They could walk away and say, CRSQ isn't real. I'm going to be okay. Bill, but CRSQ is real, and they're not going to be okay. Gideon, that is true. Bill, I understand better now. I wonder why some of our people ran to these falsehoods so quickly. Now I know. It was comforting not to have to believe us anymore. Gideon, they took refuge in the groups aligned against you. It's a place to go where none of this has to be real, where they can believe there's some nebulous idea of the Great Reset out there, but nothing concrete like CSRQ. They can then go on believing nothing really bad will happen and seek out other hopium sources. Bill, what I've realized is there's almost no way to stop agents. They can lie about anything. They can call upon the cabal to come in and destroy everything. They have millions of dollars in funding. Worst of all, truth seekers fall for their lies constantly. Gideon, all the time, every day they fall for them. Bill, I've never quite seen something attacked as much as we were. I see other groups get attacked, but not like this. Gideon, we showed the world what they're doing. We showed the world CSRQ, so they responded in kind. They went scorched earth on you. Bill, should we have answered the lies more, defended ourselves more? Gideon, you already have. You and Michael, you've spent hours answering them. It does not matter. No amount of logic, reason, or facts means anything to these people. They want to believe the lies so badly. Bill, so much of what they said was baseless. They twisted things so much. It's easy to take something and twist it, so something goes from being good to bad. It's so easy. Gideon, it certainly is. Most people's minds are too weak to see those manipulations. A few words can destroy a person's career or credibility. It doesn't have to be true at all. It happens all the time. Bill, but most of them are criminals. Most of them are child predators. The cabal hires the worst of the worst for this stuff. Then they pretend to be good. Gideon, the cabal loves it when good people worship their gatekeepers. They love it when they get a group of people in the truth movement praising and loving agents who rape children in secret, drink the blood of aborted babies, worship Satan. There is no Satan. Bullshit. And who are sovereigns relishing the reset and what is to come. The cabal wants to control the opposition and they do. And they want everyone worshiping the people they control, and they do. Meanwhile, all the sheep on the other side of the coin worship the mainstream media liars and celebrities. Bill, we found a ton of them in CSRQ, the gatekeepers. Exposing that must have really upset them. Gideon, we went all the way. Bill, we didn't really hold back. We exposed almost everything. Bill, almost, but not all of it. Gideon, no, not all of it. It would serve nothing to reveal it. It would put my guys in even more danger. Bill, this goes back to what? Well, I won't say what. I understand now why you put their safety first. They would die for nothing. Let's look at what's going on. Gideon, we wanted to bring the truth, but I would never compromise the lives of my men to satisfy some agent who is pressuring you, or me to give them more. Bill, good. I'm glad we never gave into that. I've had these weird people coming at me, almost like I owe them something. I don't even know who they are, and they come to me saying, give us more now, or we will come after you. Gideon, they're either agents or they're rank-and-file goose-stepping errand boys. Some might be too dumb to know they're being used. Bill, Michael had a guy do that to him. A guy who figured out Dark Days tweets as if that wasn't going to happen, and he threatened to reveal them. Of course they would be figured out. They were posted publicly. They were supposed to be deciphered. They carry important messages. Why are these people so stupid? And why would they work with people who threaten us? Gideon, a lot of them are mentally ill. There's nothing else to say, Bill. They're mentally ill or so warped from being conditioned either by agents or being an agent. You're dealing with people who are unstable. Bill, I just don't understand how people can just believe some of the garbage they say. They posted some real things and twisted those things, but they also posted fake images too. They're basically faking things and taking things out of context over and over and spinning a fake narrative. I can do the same to them, but I'm not going to because it's wrong. Gideon, it doesn't matter. Bill, of course they will lie and mix some truth with some things they made up out of thin air. Anyone with discernment can see the tricks. We can't save the people without discernment. We don't want them anyway. They're too weak. They would bring us down. Bill, when I think about all these people, you know what I realize? They will all end up forced... That thing. Can't say the word. Gideon, they will. They're not strong enough. They believe they are, but they're not. They will end up forced... Bill, if it's this easy for the Cabal to win, for agents to deceive, how can we win? Gideon, I've always told you we had a very slim chance. Bill, someone in the Telegram said the Cabal is losing. I said, how can they be losing if they have all the money, own the press, control the military, and use hundreds of thousands of agents to infiltrate the truth movement? How can they be losing? Gideon, they're not losing, Bill. Bill, while I've got you here, I have to ask. People are asking me about Kim Ann Guggen. What is she about? Gideon, a low-level common class agent who was told they will be sovereign if they put out propaganda. Bill, so is she sovereign yet? Gideon, we haven't checked her, but based on my analysis, if what she is doing, she's waiting for an offer after being given a roadmap on what they want her to do. Bill, incredible. That's probably true for a lot of these people who pop up out of nowhere. Gideon, a lot are old-timer agents who've been doing good work for the Cabal for years, and the Cabal graduates them to gatekeeper. They dangle the sovereign carrot so they do good work. Bill, will they actually become sovereigns? Gideon, some will. The ones who do good for the Cabal. The ones who build a huge following. She's doing well, but has a way to go. Bill, God, this is all so evil, and people buy into it. What about David Lester Strait? What about this movement to use the legal system to gain legal freedom in America? I've asked before, but I'm always curious about it, because he also wants to help people become sovereign. Gideon, it's very, very convoluted and not feasible for the average person. It would take 3 or 4 months to complete all these steps. Perhaps 6 months, plus an enormous amount of work. Then you have to hope the FBI, IRS, or feds don't come in and round you up. It may also be a trap. Bill, do you think he's wrong? Is it a bad thing? It seems to be based on sound legal principles. It has something to do with birth certificates, which take our rights away at birth. Isn't that right? Gideon, the Cabal cannot take away anyone's rights. The Cabal uses legal tricks to make illegal claims. The courts David is using are illegal in the first place. The judges are criminals, and the entire U.S. government framework he's operating under is a criminal enterprise. Bill, right. We touched on this before. I said, or you said, I can't remember, that David is granting a sort of legitimacy to the framework. Gideon, in some ways, yes, the legal framework he's working through is not even legitimate at all. So why are you trying to get an illegal system to give you rights? You already have God-given inalienable rights. An illegal criminal government cannot give you rights or take them away. Bill, can anything be accomplished by its methods? Gideon, it won't matter. The Cabal isn't going to care at all if someone has some paperwork proclaiming this or that. It will, in fact, dramatically increase the likelihood they are placed in quarantine status. I'll have to censor myself again. Bill, right. But it doesn't matter what status you are. You have to get... I have people worried they're restricted or quarantined. and I tell them it doesn't matter. Gideon, it's meaningless. Whether common, restricted, or quarantine, you are a prisoner. Common has some slightly better advantages, but you still have to accept that. Bill, within 1 month of this going online? Gideon, 1 month. If you don't, they will send the sheriff, the police, and so on. After about a month of harassment, then they will send in the drones. Bill, so more like 2 months effectively? Gideon, yes. That's the time frame for you and me and our group to stop them. Bill, we will have 2 months. Not a lot of time, but I think it's possible. Gideon, if we don't have more good people with us, it won't be possible. That's why we're going dark, going to this other plan. We can't do it alone. You and me and our group is way too small. We will need more sovereigns. But right now, my guys are hesitant to even help. Bill, that's a shame. It's because of all of this, all these agents, and all these morons believing them. Gideon, it is. They're spooked, rightfully so. They told me they wonder if this is worth it at all, going public, I mean. Bill, but we're not even close to the manpower or woman power we need. Gideon, we will need more. I think my guys will come around. We'll let the dust settle. They've agreed to do a couple of accounts, but no more. But I hope they will change their minds. Bill, they have to. Gideon, I know. I think they know too. Our group is too small. We can't win with this small of a group. Bill, they trust you. I'm sure you will do all you can to help them feel better about this. I've got to ask before I forget. What about David Icke? Is he sovereign? Lots of people ask. I like him. Gideon, we've never checked. My guess is that he may not be. Bullshit. David Icke is a shill. You said his son posted something from you on David's website. Bill, he did. Gareth did, so that was encouraging. Gideon, that strongly points to him not being sovereign. Horse shit. You never quite know with someone very high profile because the Cabal loves to use those people in the sneakiest ways. But like you, my feeling toward him is favorable. No, mine ain't. But I think he's made some choices so he stays alive. Does that make sense? Maybe some conspiracies so the Cabal doesn't eliminate him. Bill, I believe that. Almost like he did it on his own without the Cabal having to come in and make him do it. Gideon, right. But we are speculating. I just haven't ever looked that much into him, so I don't know. I'm just going with a gut impression of things. Bill, are your guys willing to check on some of these people anymore? There's so many names people want checked. I think people are disappointed. So many sort of regular people we looked up, like Tom Hanks or Joe Biden. I mean, we all know they would be sovereign. Gideon, many were checked by the whistleblowers before I had the chance to step in and start directing them with more questionable names. Most of this was done when they first started out of curiosity. They started just thinking of names on the top of their heads to look up. Bill, right, makes sense. They're not as familiar with the American psyops either. Gideon, no, they were thinking of more popular or well-known people. Then it became obvious everyone is sovereign. Bill, it sure did. You said they got tired of looking people up? Gideon, yes. I've had to nudge them on these names. Bill, is it safe or not safe to look up names? I know the answer, but I think people reading might be curious. Gideon, it can't be done frequently. Looking up a name or two per week is fine, because part of their job is to look up sovereigns all the time. All the time. They're doing quality control work, stress testing, and so on. Bill, so if they toss in a name like David Icke, it won't look odd. Gideon, no. And I can ask if he can be looked up, but again, I'm not nudging them anymore. We realized a while back it's not worth the small risk. We're not really learning anything. We can already glean from the behaviors of these public figures where they are in the system. Bill, for sure. I know we can't talk much longer, but what about some of these things you alluded to, about how the Cabal has changed their rules, or isn't following their old rules? Gideon, we will have to get to that another time. It's too deep a discussion for now. I will say this, I'm gravely concerned because it means they aren't going to hold back anymore. I also think they had to do this ritualistically so that CSRQ can happen. So they can do what they want to do, especially with forced... Bill, right. Because before, they were really just pressuring people. What they were doing was a violation of the Nuremberg Code, but they weren't forcing it into anyone's arms. Not yet, anyway. Gideon, no, they weren't yet, but they will soon. Yeah, we'll see about that. Bill, you said a ceremony took place, a very important one. Can you get into that? Gideon, there was one, yes. I have a source who has knowledge of it. Bill, so this was something the Cabal did to change the rules to usher in this reset? Gideon, it was a very important event for them, and one more is planned to finalize these rules. Bill, one more when? In September. A month they have some major things planned too. Bill, we have to talk more about this. We have to. Gideon, we will. Your safety is more important. I want you to do what I told you to do. We have to end this conversation. Bill, copy that. Gideon, get this to Michael and get going. You don't have much time. Okay, that's the video, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
Nicht wie gewähren, zur Hand. Es erschlagt die faschistische